Hey, this is Susan Velez from SusanVelez.com, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I make the techie side of blogging easy. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, I highly recommend that you do, because what I like to do is every Wednesday I create some type of tutorial, video, blogging advice, something that's going to help you start, grow, and monetize your WordPress blog. So in today's tutorial, what I wanted to do is I have a client who is currently hosting their site on SiteGround, and they want it migrated to WP Engine. So what I thought is I would kind of walk you through the whole process and show you how easy it is to migrate a site from any hosting account into WP Engine. Now, I've only done this a few times and it's been a while, so if I make a couple mistakes here and there, it's not a problem. Our site is going to stay live on SiteGround, so even if you make a couple of errors, you're really not making any changes to the site until you go into the DNS and make some changes to the actual A records. So we're not going to worry about bringing down the site or causing any issues with the site. So let's get started. So like I said, this is the site we're moving, where it is hosted on SiteGround right here. If I go to what's my DNS, you'll notice that the domain is right here and it is pointing to these A records right here, which is 109.73. And then you'll notice that the SiteGround A records are 109.73.235.220. So it is indeed pointing to SiteGround, and we want to move it to WP Engine. So the first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to log into your WP Engine account, and we're going to add an install. Now, you want to give it an install name. Now, it really doesn't matter what you call it. It can be called whatever you want. This is just going to be for the address that WP Engine creates for you. So we're going to go ahead and go soccer shop, or not soccer shop. Let's go soccer. That one's taken. So let's do 3 P's. Okay, so if you'll notice, hold on. We're going to go soccer's shop. Let's do that. Okay, so if you'll notice, this is the install name, and then what we want to do is we want to just create a transferable install. What you want to do is you'll want to just say create new install, and then you're just going to go ahead and create the install. Now, I'm not going to do this because, as you'll know, the client already created an install right here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use this install that they created. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go to the site migration, and I'm going to actually install it or open it up in a new window, because we're going to need this information. Now, the great thing is that if you have any issues with how to use this, they have a video right here that'll walk you through the process step by step. Very easy to do. And what you want to do is you want to download this plugin. I've already got it downloaded right here on my computer. And so what we're going to do, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to log into their account. Now, the first thing I would do is I would probably update WordPress and Genesis, but for this tutorial, I want to make it as quick as possible without any flaws. And this is just about migrating the site from a different hosting account to WP Engine. So what we want to do is we want to add a new plugin, and then we're going to upload the plugin. And then right here is the plugin, so I'm just going to drag it and drop it right there. And then we're going to install it. Now, once it installs, we're going to go ahead and activate it. And then we're going to grab the information that we need from here to paste it right here. So what we want to do is we're going to click on generate new SFTP. And then you'll notice that it gave us a password and then changed the username from migration 2 to migration 3. So now all we need to do is enter an email, and I'm going to enter my email. And this is just for the purpose of when the migration is done, WP Engine will send you an email saying that the site has been migrated. So now we're going to enter the destination site URL. And then we're just going to copy and paste this. So basically, you're just copying and pasting everything in here. So we're going to go to the username. And this information will be changed after the video, because you never want to show people what your SFTP username and password are. That's something that you want to keep private. Now, right here it says, is your site password protected? Now, usually it's not going to be site password protected, but this site is, because if you'll notice, it'll say transferable install restricted. So now what we want to do is we're going to actually copy this right here, and we're going to go demo. And I believe this is how you do this. I've never done it with a password site being restricted, but I'm thinking that's what it is. So we're going to go ahead, and once we got all this information filled out, we're going to go ahead and hit the migrate button. Like I said, this site is not going to be affected. There's not going to be any downtime because the A records are still pointing to SiteGround. So it is a live site. So if you encounter some issues with the migration, it's not a big deal. Not until you actually go in and you change the A records and point them to WP Engine, which I will not be doing on this live site because I want to make sure that everything, including the email, is working correctly before I actually complete the transfer. This video is just going to walk you through the process of how to do the migration, and I'll even show you how to change the A record when you're ready. So we're going to hit on migrate, and hopefully everything will go smoothly. So we're going to click on that, and then you can see that it is working. It's doing something, so we're waiting on it right now. And then you'll notice that it goes to Blog Vault. This is the really cool part about migrating a site into WP Engine, is you do not have to worry about making a backup of your, or downloading your database, doing anything with your WordPress files. Once you actually copy over all this migration information, then you click on the Blog Vault, and then I'll show you here shortly what you're going to see. Now, the thing about this site is this is a very big site. It is an e-commerce site, and it has hundreds of products, probably even thousands of products. So it is going to take a while to complete the migration. If your site is not as big as this one, it won't take very long. If you'll notice, it's starting to migrate over the tables, and then it's going to do the media files as well too. So we're just going to let this migrate, and then I'm going to show you what you would do once you're ready to change the A records. Now, like I said, I'm not going to change the A records on this, but I'm going to show you the process. So what you'll do is you'll come back into your dashboard on WP Engine, and you'll see right here it says IP address. So what you'll do is you'll copy and paste, or you'll copy that, and then you'll go to your A records, which right here, they're on GoDaddy. And then what you would do is come over here to DNS, and then you're going to see all their DNS information. And what we want to do is we would change this A record right here, which is currently pointing to the SiteGround. We would change it to the WP Engine just by clicking on this and then copying and pasting the WP Engine, and then you'd save it. But I'm not going to do that right now. You don't want to do that until the site has completely migrated and you've checked everything out. Like I said, if it's a smaller site, you really don't have to worry about, you're not going to run any issues, but this is a pretty big site. So I want to make sure that everything is working properly before I actually change the A records. So I'm going to let this run in the background for now, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the rest of the process. I'll be back. All right, so as you can see, the site, it says migration successfully completed successfully, and then you can visit the migrated site. So we're going to click on that, and then it's going to ask for this authentication, because if you'll remember, it was a password protected site. Now, you'll also get an email. It says, welcome to the WP Engine family, and then it'll tell you that your site has been migrated. So what we're going to do is we're going to log into this. Now, I always like to do this because I want to make sure that everything was transferred successfully. As I mentioned, this is a very big site, so we want to make sure that everything is working properly before we actually change the A records. And if you'll notice, it is using the WP Engine address that it gives you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to access the site into the dashboard using the WP Engine address and make sure that everything is good. So we're going to go like that, and then it's going to ask me for the password. So hold on just a bit. And yes, the client is using admin. I probably should change that, but I haven't done that, so I just keep it as is. That was their doing, not mine. So you'll notice that we are on the site. So we want to make sure that everything is good. And like I said, I'm not going to actually transfer everything because I want to make sure that their email address their emails don't get disturbed. If they're hosting their emails with SiteGround or with their previous hosting account, which is SiteGround, then you want to make sure that you're taking extra care, special precautions before you change the name servers or the A records on the actual site migration, because if they are using the email system from their previous hosting, that will definitely screw up their emails, and you don't want to be bombarded with a bunch of emails saying, I can't get my emails, I can't get my emails. So make sure on that. That's something I have to find out before I actually migrate or change the actual sites. But we're going to go ahead and see if the links are working properly and if things are working properly the way they should be. Now, this is a pretty big site, so I'm going to spend some time today just really making sure everything is correct. And if you'll notice, they do sell products on here. It is a e-commerce site, and you'll notice that they have hundreds of products. So once I actually make sure that everything is correct, then I will go in there and I will change the A record. And like I said, all you do to change the A record, you grab this IP address right here, and you go to the DNS domain registrar, and then you come over here and you change this out. So anyway, the site is on WP Engine. It is right here. I would just have to unlock this install to make it live and change their DNS. And once that was done, then you give it a couple of hours, maybe even an hour, to propagate completely. Once you know that it is off of your previous hosting account, then you can go into your previous hosting account and delete it. Now, I wouldn't delete it until I knew that everything was migrated correctly. And then you could go ahead and delete it, and you would be on WP Engine. If you have any issues with your migration, then you could contact their live support. They actually have really, really good live chat. It's 24/7. I've used their chat before, and it is great. So you can't go wrong with WP Engine, and you can't go wrong with SiteGround. I use SiteGround for my personal site. If you have any questions or anything at all, be sure and leave them in the comments below, and I'll help you out as best as I can. I'll also leave the links for WP Engine and SiteGround and any other affiliate program that I talked about in this video in the description below. If you do happen to move to SiteGround or WP Engine, I would greatly appreciate it if you use my affiliate link. It will continue to support me to be able to provide these type of tutorial videos that are going to help you manage and grow your WordPress blog. So once again, stop by my blog at susanvelez.com, visit me, sign up for my 7-day free WordPress course, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and give it a like and a thumbs up. I'll talk to you later. Have a great one.